What are you so sorry about, Luke? Last night, about 100 miles outside of Fort Worth, we had to end up deciding to put on the dolly because it was a sheet of ice on the road and it was so dangerous. I had no wipers, so I didn't want to crash the thing. It's got a layer of ice on it right now. So unfortunately, the plan is to keep it on the dolly because it between the camber from being lowered and it's not good even in the wet, so let alone the snow. As soon as I touched ice, the whole car was squirrely and everywhere. So I don't want to crash it. Oh my god, this almost fell. So we are gonna dolly it until we get to warmer weather, which should be a couple hours out, and we'll pick up there. Oh, look at 1/8 inch ice on everything. Car's all covered nice too. Alright, I'm not sure what's going on here. An accident or something? No, it all looks good. Oh shit.
He's muffled up pretty good.
Oh man, he like... Alright, we were about to pull off and find a gas station to unload this and start driving it again. And we just noticed that the fender, well, the running board has come off. Alright, so we're in Louisiana where it's warm enough to start working on it again, and it's not starting. So we think that whatever we're doing when we leave it overnight might be killing this coil. So now we're going to do some investigating, see if we need to get yet another coil, and then actually remember to shut the battery off each night. Alright, went to start the car to drive it off the dolly. No spark again. So whatever we did to that ignition is apparently sending power, at least some kind of draw, and shorting out that coil every time that we stop using the car. It's fine if it sits for a little while, but if it sits overnight, it's killing it. So we need to get another coil pack. Luckily there is one in stock in a Napa a half hour from here, so let's do that. Alright, found a random Napa about 20 minutes from where we just left you guys, and we are going to head in and get the coil. Might have wheel straps? Oh, good luck. Also gonna get the bolt we need for a running board.
I'll take a bolt.
Alright. Got the coil, got all the stuff that we need to do this. Luke's in the back, getting tools, fixing it. We should be back on the road in hopefully no time. What's kind of funny as we go here is every person we run into has a story about Beetles. That guy was telling us about how the back seat, they had too many people in it. The springs were touching the battery and arcing and catching the seat on fire, and they threw the seat out, stomped it out, and then kept going on the Beetle they had at one point. So let's get this thing off the dolly and drive it. This coil is slightly different, so we gotta take these little dual caps off the other one to make it so it works. So that's the old one that looks brand new because it's only a day old that we broke. What's awesome is even though the running board came off, we're gonna be reattaching it, but there's like no rust on this thing underneath. It's just old paint. See where the car used to be red. So we ran that at Napa as they were closing, got the coil we needed, and they locked the door behind us. They sold us one that has a internal resistor. We need external, so it doesn't work. On to the next place. All right, so we thought that we had an issue because of the coil not being internally
Not having an internal.
Yeah, we thought, yeah, the one that we bought had an internal resistor. We're like, oh, maybe that's the problem. But even with the correct part a half hour away, it is still not firing off. So we're gonna try to see if maybe the ground is no good that was on it, because it's pretty simple. We have 12 volt going to the coil, nothing coming out of the coil. So, and it's brand new. All right, so after an hour, I've found a fuse that should have looked at these first, but we found that the amperage kept dropping. This thing is broke, so I'm gonna see if I can find some more. Luckily, we're in the back of an O'Reilly's parking lot here. So tonight we have the admit Volkswagen defeat. We've done a bunch of tests for like 2 hours, and we got to get on the road to make time. So, Louisiana, we are not driving through you. Sorry. So we may be broke down, but we're still hungry. So we went to this place called Raising Cane's, and it's wicked good. What do you think?
Good so far.
We will say that it came out looking exactly like it looked on the menu.
It's good.
It has some special sauce, I guess. It is Thursday morning,
the
6th day on the road.
It's kind of chilly.
Yesterday we didn't get to drive the Beetle at all, did we?
Nope.
No, it was dead in the water. She's alive! We just pop started it on the dolly. The points were shot, which means that both those coils are probably fine. All right, we still have to do some housekeeping though. We got to get this running board back on. Dude, we got it!
Alright, kind of difficult to hear here, but I ended up taking the distributor off. I got a video I'll send to Justin, but the points somehow or another ended up loosening up and they slammed all the way shut, so it wasn't making the trigger up to the coil. So I ended up taking that apart, and I didn't have a 16th gap gauge, so I used a piece of cardboard that looked like it was pretty gosh darn close, matchbook thickness technically, and got it measured up, and here we go. Woo!
All right, we're currently getting all the parts back into the hood. Luke's working on getting this running board back on, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but makes the car look 100 times better. We went to start it, we had it running here for like a half hour, and then it just stopped. But it's still getting spark. I think it's out of gas. So we might have to yank it to a gas station, or hopefully there's just enough in the fuel line after priming the pump a few times that it'll fire back up. So we'll find out. It is starting to. Well, hopefully it doesn't rain on us too bad. Currently Maggie's shutting a toolbox I left open and it's rattling everywhere. But we are in the car and running for the first time in like 2 days. Hey there guys, we are back in the Beetle. We just got on the highway. We have 600 miles ahead of us and it's raining, so this is our view. Beautiful, huh? We have rain X. We're gonna have to put it on next time we stop because this is ridiculous. But we're moving, and so basically we made it to about Tyler, Texas, like between Amarillo and Tyler. It was just so icy we had to put the car on the dolly, and then the next morning you want to start again. So obviously you just saw a bunch of footage of us putting it together, like literally spent probably 6 hours total diagnosing everything, redoing the whole ignition system, testing the whole ignition system. It turns out that the points that looked okay, it actually wasn't going up and down anymore, so they didn't look burnt out. So what we're able to do is just basically reset it and get it working again. So because the one that we have is the wrong style, because when I ordered parts beforehand, we didn't know what exactly was on it. They're using a 6-volt distributor with a 12-volt car. Alright, so we forgot to take a video because we were just on the side of the road, but the car would not make it up any hills. It was like, wouldn't go more than 30 unless it was perfectly flat. Got on the highway and almost got killed trying to get off, so we never recorded it. But the timing was too far advanced, so it was like a pre-detonation. We were having the distributor off, we marked it, but apparently just being a couple degrees off makes a huge difference on these motors. We were hoping if we advanced it a little bit, we'd get a little more power, but it's not worth it. We'll just go back to where it was and cruise at 70. We're asking too much of it. We didn't realize we were coming up on it. It's a little tiny green sign that said, "Welcome to Sweet Home, Alabama." So the Beetle made it through Mississippi. Woo! We're about to head into Mobile, however you say, Alabama, right on the Gulf Coast. We'll be able to see the Gulf of Mexico, and our oil cap broke. We went to put the oil cap back on after checking the oil and noticed it split across the top. We found this kind of aluminum foil type candy wrapper in the car, and it held for the last 100 miles. So now we gotta find something. So we were checking the oil and we noticed it had a hairline crack across the top of the cap. We went to screw it on and it literally split open and it poured oil all over everything once we took off, because we're like, maybe it doesn't really need to seal that well. Well, it does. We just had to clean the whole thing down with brake clean. It even got on the rear fender and tail light and everything, so much oil blew out. So So we're gonna find a Lowe's because it looks like pipe thread. We're gonna see if we can find some kind of cap to put on it. If not, we'll have to get some really thick aluminum foil, double it up, put it over the hole, and zip tie it. This is literally the first time I've seen sun in like 3 days, and it's like 60 degrees out.
It feels hot.
It feels hot right now. Actually, it feels so good. Like, I can't even describe how good it feels.
Okay guys, it's another Beetle.
We're about to pull into the Lowe's, well, slash 61 Beetle parts store. And there's another Beetle out back, broke down. Alright, so here's the crack in the cap. Alright, we are in Lowe's. We just spent another 30 bucks. This is gonna be our new gas cap. Should work. Almost 40 bucks. Some mechanics wire to keep the shifter from going apart. We are going to super glue the oil cap with some epoxy that's heat rated and then clamp it down to hold it until it bonds. And I also got this to clean some of the oil off from the back of the car. That's hopefully a it won't take the paint off to get the oil off. Alright, so we're gonna find out if it melts from the gas, which hopefully it doesn't. We looked online, it says it might.
But they're claiming it's PC.
There we go.
Probably by
We have a gas cap now. Alright, so we're gonna mix it in the package here.
Wear gloves for this stuff because it's nasty.
Got some tie wire to get the pins that hold the shift linkage together. Alright, we hung around for like a half hour. That is still not dry. The thing isn't blown out yet, so we're gonna just keep driving until it starts to. Alright, this is our spot to go to Florida. Woo! Get in there. Alright, we got the car all situated. It seems to be running real good. We're about to jump on I-10 for the first time for the next, like, I think it's 400 miles almost. So, and I've heard 10 is pretty rough, so we'll see how this goes. That's the USS Alabama. That's the Gulf of Mexico, guys. Woo! We made it this far. Oh, there's a truck broke down, and an old truck like this. There's the water right there. Take that out right into the ocean. The Golden Arches. We are finally in Florida! That's how you drive from California, one coast to the other. We, on the other hand, still need to go almost 450 miles to get to our destination in Florida, because we're not just going to the border, we're going to Claremont, Kissimmee, Orlando area. Heading over some bridge here. We're heading into Pensacola. We've had to twice now replace a little, like basically candy wrapper cap for the oil, because the thing we made still isn't hardened, even though it's supposed to take a half hour, and we only made it too thick, so it's likely it's gonna take 4 hours, and we don't have 4 hours, so we're just driving it. Zip tie on a new candy wrapper every couple minutes, so it is what it is.
Well, he said previously he thought.
Yeah, that was getting weak. So we went in to grab dinner. It's like 10:30 in Tallahassee. Went out to start the car so we can do our final push to Orlando area, and no more starter. It's too late for us to mess with it. So we're gonna load it up and push it on, and we'll finish the last 100 miles or so here on the dolly, unfortunately.
Yeah, that too. Might want to hold on. Crank it. Country road, take me home. Good. Straight. Okay.
Good girl.
Good job.
Good job, Maggie.
All right, buddy. Show me the essentials you brought for the trip.
Okay, wait. Let me put my marbles away. I brought marbles. I brought a camera that doesn't work.
Why doesn't it work?
I don't have the plug for the rechargeable battery. Or an SD card.
Okay.
I brought shower stuff.
That is pretty essential.
Hairbrush,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't really need.
You don't need a hairbrush?
Not unless it's a shower day.
Which should be all the time. Okay, why do you have a slinky?
I don't know, I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, what else you got?
I have this.
Alright. Thank God you didn't do that the whole trip.
I also have, it's the most essential of all, the compass.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
essentials. I gotta put
And a
this.
whole bunch of video games. Nice job, buddy.
A big fat stack.
You're a pro packer.
And the Nintendo Switch.
All right, so we are in Florida. I ended up letting Luke drive last night after we fought with the bug till 11 o'clock. We didn't get in until almost 3 in the morning. This is the campsite in Florida. The bug is up in guest parking up over there. The starter did start working again once we got here, and we were able to basically drive it off the trailer. We're gonna look and see if we can figure out what's going on with that. The next couple days we are not going to be having much content because we are going to recharge here. We've been on the road for, was it 10 days now? 10 or 11 days non-stop, and we need to put our feet in the hot tub and just kind of chill in the nice weather because we've been freezing our butts off. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed Sebastian's little travel tips there of what to pack. He's so awesome. Yeah, his compass. That was quite the clip. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll get the rest of the trip going from Florida to New York. We did from California to Florida in its entirety except for a little bit of Texas and Louisiana. So that's pretty good considering we've never seen the car. I'm proud of it.
Won't be there for you no more.